Hi everyone, hi Miss Mnyarazi. Thank you so much for offering me this opportunity to share my life experience. I really appreciate such opportunities. So you offered me like 7 questions here, and I'll just answer these accordingly. Sorry if I just shift my focus here because I'm just currently looking at the other screen where the questions are. So the first question is, introduce yourself and tell us where you grew up. So my name is George Shingai Banda. I grew up in Kwekwe, but I was born in Masvingo on the 3rd of March 1992. I stayed in Masvingo for 3 years, when I was still a toddler, and then moved to Kwekwe, where I actually, sort of grew up. So what's your current profession? Describe what you actually do and a typical day at work. So my current profession is I'm a quality engineer. So what I basically do is I ensure that the product, or the system rather, its quality is or meets the user's requirements or expectations. So I do this by ensuring that testing the requirements against the system. I also ensure that the process is actually meeting the standards that was agreed by the organization or by the industry. So on a typical day, I'll definitely wake up, look at my calendar, check if there are any scheduled meetings. If they are, we usually start off with our daily stand-up. So a daily stand-up basically is where you update the team of what you did the previous day, what you're going to do on that particular day, and if you're facing any blockers, or the blockers is basically the word. I go on to check if all the processes are being followed, if there are no political issues in the team. If they are, then we'll try to resolve those. And I also check the system against the requirements, and I also check if all the system functionalities are working as expected, which we call regression testing. Those are some of the activities that I do, though it's actually more details than that. If there's anyone who wants to sort of follow that career path, just check quality engineering. What other professions you've heard in the past? Why did you change professions or industries? If relevant, in what countries have you worked? So, I would say from the age of 13 to 18, I would say my main profession was cricket, because I did represent Zimbabwe in age group cricket, and I later, we got paid for that, though it was a small amount, but because we were paid for that, our quality, one of the professions that I started. I then moved, while I was on a gap year, or doing my gap year, I did temporary teaching at Bere Secondary School in Mashava, and I also did temporary teaching at Zivezano, at Shopgoy's homestead there in Masvingo. And then I then did a business analysis at Fullstack in 2016, and in that same year I also represented Zimbabwe in the Africa T20 competition. And the reason why I didn't pursue cricket is because our goals are different in life, our ambitions are different, and I don't think cricket at the moment in Zimbabwe gives you the right platform to be ambitious individually for your kids and your family. So for me, it was more about stability and security, and obviously an opportunity to grow from an emotional, spiritual, and financial perspective. So in 2016, I'll go back. I started business analysis at Fullstack. I was doing my internship there. And then I moved to test analysis. The reason why I moved to test analysis was because, I found a great mentor in Andrew Lagrange. He actually identified my strengths and my weaknesses, and he suggested, that I actually move to test analysis because of the skills that I had, which actually matched that. What education or training did you need to learn these jobs? Include the degree details and the institution. If you had a scholarship, how did you learn them? So yeah, like in high school, I got my scholarship when I was in Form 1 because of my cricket performance in primary school. So I performed very well in my primary school final year, where I was averaging more than 90. I still remember I only went out once in that season, and then I ended up getting a cricket scholarship to Victoria High School in Masvingo. So I was on a Zimbabwe cricket scholarship from Form 1 to Form 6. And then, when I was in Form 6, I met a friend of mine there, like I was now at Churchill. I met a friend, a brother that I should say, in Dinma Jawidza. So, yeah, he just recommended that I look at University of the Western Cape because he had actually received a scholarship himself, and he just suggested that I just try it out. So unlike him, I had to look for my own finances, and I had to gamble to say, okay, I'll just pay for my first year, and I begged myself that my cricket performance and my academics will be top notch for me to get that bursary. So I think God was on my side, so that happened, and I got a bursary like in my first year, and it paid off the balance that was left in my first year. And then it went on to pay for my scholarship up until my master's. So in my first year, when I started at UWC, I was doing a business administration degree, and because I had such good marks, Nicholas Koch suggested that I do a BCom degree. So I changed my to BCom degree, and some of the modules in the B admin degree were moved to my BCom. So I did that and managed to complete that in record time. So I graduated in 2015, and in 2016 I completed my honors in information systems. When I started working, I was doing an internship as a business analyst, but because test analysis it's quite technical and it's more of software engineering, I then did an apprenticeship at Fullstack in 2016 to 2019 for 3 years, and I'm currently pursuing my master's, which I started in 2017, in video analysis, performance, and coaching and digital divide issues in sport, specifically like cricket. What advice do you have to young people interested in your profession? So the advice that I have, for young people is, especially in my profession, is stay humble, be curious, be willing to learn. It's a fast-paced industry where technologies, they're changing every day. So just be humble, be willing to learn, and learn from anyone, the old people, the young people. Everyone has got something that you can actually benefit from. What are the 3 big themes that you think will affect the future of your industry? For now, I think the main thing is just privacy issues when it comes to the data. I think there are a couple of regulations that are being put into place now, and it's now actually restricting people on how they use their data. So from a marketing perspective, you won't just access specific data, and I think users now, they are actually becoming more aware or more cautious on the data and information they provide. So from a decision making perspective, you want the data to be accurate, but because of this awareness from the consumers or from the people using the system, it might end up jeopardizing the data that the management or organizations use to make certain decisions. Who do you admire? Do you most admire, and why? I admire my father, Mr. A.M. Banda. He's such a humble human being, and very literate, very calm, very composed. He's someone who values the smallest thing, like a pen, from like the 1990s. I know, like, he still has a couple of Parker pens that he actually bought in the 1990s. So he's someone who values everything, and he's someone who respects anyone, even the smallest kid. Though he's like he's like in his 70s now, he will respect anyone in this world, and he will try to understand the situation rather than being reactive. And I also admire Nicholas Koch. Nick is he has been my guardian here in Cape Town, and he has provided me with a platform to be where I am today. He showed some patience in me. He did direct me where I actually needed help. So I admire his kindness, and like what I said, his patience. And the third person is Godu Mamiya. Godu is such a great competitor, someone who wants to see the best in people, and he always believes that everyone and anyone can become like anything that they want to be. So he's someone that you want to share a space with. He's someone that you want to be like, you definitely want to be in his circle. And I also admire my brother, my two brothers, for the determination, grit that they show in their work, and my sisters for the kindness and the gentleness that they actually show. So for me, those are the people that I really admire in my life. So yeah, I think this is it. The video is a bit longer than expected, but I think I did provide with all the information that is needed, and I really appreciate for this opportunity, and I wish you well in all your endeavors, and to everyone who's watching, I wish you well in all your endeavors. Thank you.